Hi Cancer, this is your 2014 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com, where you can find out my birth chart calculator and you can find the degree of your ascendant sign, which is usually the most important one to check for the tangible events that will be happening in your life. The degree and sign and the moon sign, because it's so important, the moon sign, for how you're gonna feel throughout the year, because you can have great things happening in your life according to the ascendant sign, which is the tangible things, but if you're emotionally feeling crap, whatever happens, you're just gonna be seeing the negative out of it, or you can be reversed, you know. So anyway, at my birth chart calculator, below the chart, you'll see the table with all the details that you need to listen for the horoscope, with the degrees and the sign, and below it you have transits, personal predictions for you for 3 years ahead. Exactly what's going to happen. No one else will have the same transits in your life, in the world. Maybe 2 or 3 other people that were born on the same second and the same minute and place as you, but all the others, every person has very different influences for them, and this is the real thing that you can get on my birth chart, with the transits below, rather than listening to more generic one like this one. But anyway, what is Cancer going through? Well, let's look first at the small and big hand of the clock. Jupiter is always the big hand, which moves faster and shows where we can flow and develop and grow positively in our life without difficulties, with ease, through inspiration, without having to bang our head with the wall, or having to work so hard to break our backs. And Jupiter is in your, is in your sign, Cancer. And a lot of Cancers have been asking me, oh, it's not working. You see, Jupiter is in Cancer, my life still sucks, nothing's happening, but Jupiter is staying there till July. So, you know, some people, especially the later born Cancers, might feel it only at the end when Jupiter is in Cancer, might feel it in, I don't know, might feel it in April, June, July, you know. So don't give up, Cancer, you know. And Jupiter transit in your sign can bring those opportunities. Still, once in 12 years, Jupiter gives the blessings of God. And it's not, Jupiter does not give you what you want. Jupiter gives you what you need. Jupiter gives what God and the universe deems is the right thing for you to get. So often you might get some opportunity right now, something that happens in your life with Jupiter, and that actually you might not feel so positive about it, but it turns out later down the road that this was the best thing for you to happen, because later on it develops into, makes you meet the right person in your life or something like that, because Jupiter is God's blessing, and God's blessing will not be for you to do whatever you want to do, but what is right for you. And so people can get right now inspiration about the right careers to do, Cancers, about the right path to walk on, about the right, who they truly are, to find out more deeply what their path is supposed to be. To some of them, for instance, I had a friend who had Jupiter transiting their sign last year, and she discovered that she wants to be a psychic, so she quit her job as a banker, and it was hard year because she had to start anew and get much less money, but she discovered her true vocation. This is what Jupiter transiting a sign can do. It's not always about bringing you money and riches, it's bringing you truthfully your dharma, what your soul craves for. But Jupiter tends to bring opportunity as well. So if you've been working hard on some projects, now you start seeing results. If you've been loyal to something and putting effort, now you start reaping the rewards. So things can grow and develop, maybe with your career, with your business, with your emotional well-being as well. And it's not always in the outer tangible world that Jupiter brings good things. It's mostly inner healing and clarity that you get, in a sense of purpose. When Jupiter transits your sign, you can just start things making more sense to you, and you're feeling meaningful and more optimistic. And I have a friend who is Cancer, Sun and Moon at 20 degrees, and the more Jupiter is coming close to her Sun and Moon, she says, I'm crazy happy, I don't know. And usually she's depressive a little bit, you know, with Cancer changing their moods all the time. And she's like, oh, I'm so happy, you know. And with this higher vibration, she would attract good things in her life now. And even if you're feeling very down, something can happen that will show you that God is there, that there is meaning in your life, that there is purpose there, and that there is something to inspire you, to lead you forward. This is what Jupiter comes for. It doesn't come to give us money, to give us riches, even though Jupiter is the planet of wealth, but wealth, the biggest wealth is here. It's feeling purposeful, it's feeling meaningful, it's feeling, even if you're going through hell, knowing that what's the reason for that, even if you have to work 20 hours a day, and you know, or like the mother having to, you know, take care of the child, but she knows that there is a meaning in that. So this is what Jupiter brings, the sense of meaning. And these opportunities as well, it opens up, because when you get clarity, you go into the right direction. And then from July 2013, Jupiter moves in 14, sorry, from July 2014, Jupiter goes into your second house. So financially, things can start improving, Cancers. And any new projects you initiated, because it's a great time to start new projects till July, while Jupiter is in your first house of new beginnings, because you have clarity in the project, then you'll have more luck, things will open, doors will open more easily, and things will be moving smoother with the help of God and the gods. But if then when Jupiter transits into your second house from the summer of 2014 till the summer of 2015, you can start reaping the financial remunerations for that. You can start getting more money, you can start feeling more stable financially, you can get some new resources out of somewhere, and you can become yourself more resourceful, and it will be a great time for healing self-worth and self-value. If you've been hurt by, so if you felt useless for your life, this is a period from 2014 to some of 2015 when you feel very useful by keeping up your responsibilities well, by being resourceful about how to take better care of your life, how to make it more secure. This is what gives us a sense of worth, when we do something valuable and when we are productive in our life. And Jupiter in the second house makes us be quite productive in a tangible, material way, and heal our values, heal our self-esteem, self-worth. And it's very good also for very close one-to-one friendships. There will be a great source of happiness for you from the middle of 2014 onwards. And now let's see what Saturn is. Saturn is the planet where it always tends to give us a bit more difficulties, whatever it is. And it's 2013, it was in your fifth house, continues in 2014. It's time of where can there be difficulties wherever Saturn transits. For instance, there can be a difficult period into the life of your children, because if house rules children, they might have more responsibilities, they might be going through a more difficult period where you have more responsibilities towards your children. It might be harder for you to get pregnant as well sometimes when Saturn, or if you're pregnant, you have to be more careful, because whatever Saturn is can tend to bring more, you know, stresses somehow. There can be maybe a delay with getting pregnant if you're trying, or your creative projects. If you're naturally inspired person who feels very happy, this is fifth house, someone who feels this childlike joy to life, and Saturn in the fifth house can dampen it a little bit, but you can use the structuring influence of Saturn in the fifth house to for anything creative that you're doing, to make a job out of it, basically. Fifth house, Saturn is the planet of work, of responsibilities. When it's in the house of hobbies, of creativity, of joy, you can make out of a hobby work. You can take it more seriously, and you can develop it. You can put some structure into it. Or if you're a writer, for instance, Saturn can block your writer's inspiration. Or if you're someone who's in the creative arts, you might be a little bit blocked, and the only way you can unblock yourself, or Saturn is in the fifth house, is by structuring your day, by forcing yourself every day to write 2 or 3 pages. Because don't expect that when Saturn is in the fifth house, you'll get all of a sudden a divine inspiration and you'll start writing and finish the book in one day. Or, you know, Saturn desiccates wherever it passes. But it can bring structure and order, and something that is more repetitive, which can give results. So any creative jobs which are, they can be either dampened, or you have to put a lot of structure in them to keep going well. And also, fifth house is love affairs, so Saturn can dampen those as well somehow, make them a bit more hard. And because of that, the self-esteem of person is also decreased when Saturn is in the 5th house, because of you know, because of love affairs that can be somehow hurtful. And it's not like settled relationships that Saturn can hurt, or marriages. It's more like the joy, the emotional connection, the feeling of falling in love that Saturn sucks out a little bit out of when it's in the 5th house. This creative, spontaneous joyfulness that you want to you know, that you feel inspired all the time when you're in love. You know how you feel inspired and you want to do things for the person, and this thing Saturn can dampen it for a while, you know, stop it. So don't freak out. Later on when it moves, things will improve again. Let's see. And you have Rahu and Ketu changing signs. These are the fated planets. These are, wherever they move, this is where the big changes in life happen, and very sudden often. And things that, they stir up things. If you've been stagnating in that area where they pass, things will no longer stagnate. If you don't have the courage to move forward, to do something, things will start changing now, whether you want it or no. And Rahu and Ketu, these are the nodes of the moon. Rahu is the dragon's head, and Ketu is the dragon's tail. So wherever Ketu passes, we let go of those things in our life. We detach emotionally from them, because we might suffer usually some losses there. And it helps us to outgrow them by detaching emotionally, because when you've hurt a little bit, you know, for a while you get fed up, you don't want to hurt, so you detach, you know, like disconnect, you know, just like the... you know, with people who have trauma, they can disconnect, you know, dissociate from something. So Ketu is transiting in your 10th house. So some of you might get disappointed and let go of some careers and some ambitions, worldly ambitions that they have. Maybe some project starting from 2014 till the middle of 2015, this will continue. So they will disconnect, they let go of certain career plans, or they can also get disappointed with some career ambitions, and just feel disconnected from a position or work that they have. And this can bring a new job in their life. And at the same time, and also they might not feel like so ambitious during this period. They might feel a little bit more detached in the area of 10th house, which is achievements and making things move. But usually it will push them this kind of a, because Ketu is without head, so you're like a headless cockroach, a little bit like not sure exactly what you want in regards to career. There can be this emptying feeling in regards to career, or if you've been stressing too much at work, they can be eventually like detachment. If you've been putting too much pressure on yourself, if you thought that your responsibility, your career, your status is the thing that matters the most, and you're breaking your back over it normally, when Ketu goes into the 12th house, you start feeling a bit meaningless there. You feel like, what's the point of doing all these things? So it helps you get detachment and actually more like a silent witness to the affairs of that house. So for more spiritually evolved people, or people who have, you know, who have probably suffered enough there, they can just have spiritual realizations. This Ketu is very spiritual influence in regards to what is important in life. The 10th house is the achievement. So someone who is very ambitious all of a sudden might, you know, detract from this obsessive feeling about ambition and achievements, and just observe things and get a more spiritual perspective on that. While wherever Rahu is, this is where we put a lot of attention in our life, because it's like a head. We just eat without body, and it never gets full. So you tend to develop the house where Rahu is and focus much more there, while letting go of some old things from Ketu through the tail. So letting go from some ambitions or some career things, maybe changing a career job, you know, and focusing on the 4th house, which is family, home, maybe starting your own family, settling down, maybe moving to a new place to live, maybe developing. I have a few clients who had Rahu transiting their 4th house last year, and they bought houses, and they were like developing their gardens and getting much more busy with their family. And the family life can be a bit more tumultuous, because wherever Rahu is, there is a lot of activity, there is more tension, and there can be a bit of chaos because of the changes happening there. But these things tend to develop materially more. So family, properties, vehicles as well. You could be doing something with vehicles, yeah, relocations, things like that. And so there is a big chance of changes in regards to place of living from 2014 till the middle of 2015, especially for Cancer Ascendant people, not so much for Sun and Moon to a lesser degree, and relocations as well, with the eclipses caused by Rahu and Ketu happening in their home and family and career houses. Okay, and I want to warn you, Cancers, for a period from around April, maybe even in June, from around April till June, when there will be like a grand cross in the sky, which holds on for about 2-3 months, and in cardinal signs in Cancer, and the grand cross is always like being stretched on a cross. So a lot of activity, a lot of productivity, but a lot of tension as well. Some of you might be fighting battles, some of you might be conquering the world, some of you might be changing big things in their life, but it gets very stressful, so you need to find a way to center within yourself. Very hectic period, especially those who have their ascendant or their moon from around 9 till 17 degrees in Cancer, or those who are born from the 1st till the 10th of July. A lot of tension they'll feel around that time, and life-changing events because of this grand cross with all the planets who are the planets of, and they're triggering the 4 most important houses in your horoscope. Relationships, big changes can happen there. Self path, the path that you're on, where you're supposed to go in your life. Home, so again, changes with home very likely, or career. So for some of you it might be all 4 at once, but particularly the spring, the period till the spring is very intense for Cancer. So you can start feeling it even from the beginning of the year, but very hectic, intense energies and big changes as well. But you can use this energy wonderfully to initiate big changes in your life as well. So Cancers, Aries and Libras and Capricorns will be the most intense sign for 2014, and with the most changes, with the most life-breaking things, crisis, but followed by total shift in consciousness, total shift in the direction of life, and new beginnings in their lives as well. So Cancer, get ready. You're starting a roller coaster. I'm excited for you, and for all the cardinal signs, because things will start moving and shaking. Things will start, and always, you know, even if the process is painful of change, always the process of change is painful. Eventually, you get to the right place because of those things. Because either outer circumstances forced you, because you didn't have the energy, or you didn't have the courage, or because you feel the push from within, but you'll be making all those changes now. Thank you.